this. I reached a milestone in my personal life and business life. Last week, I submitted to my editor a book I've been working on for over 20 years.
Yes.
The premise of the book is the birth of the djembe in America. This drum looks like this because of African Americans. We invented that tuning system and those rings on the djembe.
Who's we?
African Americans.
I know, but like when?
The years was going in the late 60s to the 1970s. By the 1980s, it was in full swing.
What does it look like prior?
Prior to it, the heads were tacked on with nails, tacked, or they were sewn on. So those who came here from Guinea and Senegal to perform, they had the djembes, but they were tacked on or they were sewn on. African Americans who were here drumming already had already experienced tuning these drums with ashikos, which came before the djembe. Ashikos are like a funnel, almost like a kunga. We all know what kungas look like? Kungas are the ones that you see coming from Cuba or Puerto Rico, in the islands. They'll play coo-coo-coo-coo, coo-coo-coo-coo, coo-coo. They kind of come down like a funnel shape, right? The kunga and the ashiko were the drums we were playing before this drum, djembe. One of the master drummers who was playing ashiko had an idea to take the concept from the kunga and apply it to ashiko and djembe. And they created the no-hole tuning system. His name was Chief Bey. Chief Bey. He was one of your early black actors on Broadway. Porgy and Bess, he was in there. He was an incredible drummer and drum maker and promoter of the Yoruba culture. He was an initiated priest. When I first started on the publication, I interviewed who turned out to be the first drummer to bring one of these drums into America. And I didn't even know it. Later on, years later, I picked the book up again and started interviewing elders again. The elders brought it very real to me as far as who were the pioneers and the important people and places and things for the beginning of this drum here in America. As soon as they mentioned Laji Kamada, I couldn't believe it. 1959, Les Ballets Africains from Guinea came here to America, performed, and that's the first time people saw this drum. 1964-65 World's Fair in New York. Guinea Ballet came back. Papalaji performed with Babatunde Olatunji. Now you had a next generation of drummers who were very young seeing this drum for the first time. And for a long time they called it the Guinea drum. Why they called it the Guinea drum? The people who were playing it was from Guinea. Just like the kunga was called the Congo drum, from the Congo. And they changed it to conga. All right? So they called that the Guinea drum until they heard the drummer teach the proper name for it. which was djembe. So, the reason I brought this to you, one, we're in Black History Month. And you all are having a drum circle experience with the djembe ensemble. You're going to leave here today knowing that it was African Americans that invented the way this drum looks now. Africans indigenous to West Africa brought this over to West Africa and started making all the drums to look like this. And now all over the world, they make djembes that look like this. And I can tell you, there are a lot of djembe players who are teachers and so-called master djembe players who don't know what you all know. The book will be out spring or the summer, and you all will have the resource to share with people. The book is the people who actually were there. It's all their quotes. It's not me. I'm one student in this game. It's about those who actually started this thing. So make sure that when you get involved with cultural music, cultural dance, that you know a little bit about what you're doing so that you keep the integrity of the culture and the discipline. So a lot of times people leave these workshops and say, man, those bongos sound good. And there's no bongos in this room. So we didn't even get the name of the instruments. All right? So we're going to go to another rhythm.